give a second to make sure we come on. Thanks for joining. Let me know when you come on. Say hello. Give a wave, thumbs up, click the like so I know you're here. And let me know too if you can hear me. And I'm checking to see if we're good before I dive in. Awesome. Okay. So today's workshop. Posted about it yesterday. This is kind of last minute, but title of today's workshop is How to Succeed at Self-Care in 3 Simple Steps. This is a live workshop. If you join me during this hour or half hour, then I encourage you to drop your comments below. Let me know what's coming up for you. And we're going to start. Is the volume working? Tell me if you can hear me. Not sure. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right. Okay. Welcome. We're starting. So let's get started. 3 simple steps to succeeding at self-care. I'm bringing this talk because it doesn't matter how much I practice, how much I develop and fine-tune myself and my awareness and my daily practice. I am always being challenged by how to take care of myself better. So I really want to talk about it because it's something that's coming up in, it always comes up, and it often is underneath a lot of the stuff that people notice is going on and not working, a lot of things that mothers are struggling with. Underneath all of that is this sneaky, well, how are you thinking about taking care of yourself? So I'm going to get at that today, and I'm probably going to say some things that you haven't heard others say before, and let me know what you think. Let me know if it clicks for you. So sharing from my wisdom of working with moms for a very long time and my own parenting journey, and how what I went through as a mom and what I'm going through every day now still teaches me to refine myself and attune myself to love and compassion and care for me on a deep level, which then of course flows to everyone in my life. Okay, so all right, that being said, let's tune in. So whenever you watch this, even if you watch back, do this piece with me. Let's just take a couple of breaths to ground. When you come on, say hi. Do the breathing with me. So tune in, really open up the space at the top of your head, opening to receive wisdom and your own guidance. As you breathe out, breathe your energy in and down to really release everything that's not you, everything you've been doing before today, breathing in and down and out. Hi, Sarah. I'm so glad you're here. Really release everything that you brought into this moment that's not yours and doesn't serve you. And just breathe that out and down. Inhale again, breathe in a connection with yourself. And out and down to release. Okay. So I want to start with just acknowledging, naming my children came into this world with really big needs. And, all children come in with really big needs. My story is mine. Your story is yours. We all get what we get. And for me, what I got was something that felt like too much. Felt like too much for me to hold, too much for me to do alone, too much for me to kind of figure out, or just kind of skate through. I had to step it up. I had to really evolve through motherhood if I was going to really meet my kids where they were. And the way it worked in the beginning was I was trying to give a lot and give a lot, and I was just draining. I was using up all of me. I was giving from me, from a limited me, and I would wind up empty every day. Sometimes, not very far into the day. Sometimes, like by half an hour into the day, full of really big needs. I would just be drained and really done, and hitting the wall, and feeling like, how am I gonna now go to work and do all the things I need to do and take care of them at the end of the day when I don't have anything left? So that vicious cycle is really about healing the way that we take care of ourselves. And so I'm going to share with you my secrets that are near and dear to my heart that help me shift and become the happiest member of my family, the most grounded member of my family, and just feeling like I have access to joy whenever, anytime, whatever's going on. So, the way we think about self-care really determines our ability to be happy and to have healthy relationships and to create a life that is so deeply satisfying. So today I want to connect a few dots for you, and I want to help you learn that you can fill your tank anytime. And so I'm going to offer you some guidance and support today in how to also connect these dots so that you then can know how to fill yourself up and not wait for anybody else to do it or not need for anybody else to do it. So I'm going to give 3 steps today. The first step is it's a mental shift. So start thinking about self-care instead of thinking about it as a thing to do for you. It came up in the thread, and I've seen it before in women and clients. Self-care as a to-do or a task or one of many things that needs to happen in a day because you need it. There's something in you that tells you need to do it, and also you need to grocery shop, and also you need to fix dinner and work 9-10 hours today, and you'd really like to exercise, but you're going to just slot that down at the bottom of the list because all these other things feel more important, right? So let's just think about that for a minute and what happens when you make self-care an item on your to-do list or a task. It always inevitably is going to come beneath the things that have to do with taking care of other people. As moms, we first and foremost tune in to everyone else in our world and want to make sure everybody else is doing okay before we make space for ourselves. While there are some exceptions, this is pretty much every client I've ever had, and I also see it in myself. We're going to go deeper into that in the next step, but let's just look at how you think about taking care of you. Self-care is taking care of your needs, okay? It's nurturing you, loving you, being kind-hearted with yourself, being gentle when you make mistakes. That's self-care. Self-care is not a pedicure. A pedicure is a treat. A milkshake is a treat. Self-care is something that nurtures you, that nourishes you, and that connects you back to your soul self, your grounded self, that centers you and makes you feel strong and powerful like your true nature. That is self-care. What happens when you make self-care an item on your to-do list and then we know it falls to the bottom? And this is something I see all the time, patterns that women have, and I was really stuck in these myself in the beginning of motherhood. On the inside, you feel constantly like a failure. I should be taking better care of myself. I know that. That's obvious, and I know that. But I just can't do it. It's like I only have so much energy, and I just can't seem to fit myself in on top of everything else because it will make everything else go sideways if I take care of me. Can you see how that thinking is really not serving? It's really problematic. There's a big cost to that, to your health. Also, you will be angry at anything and anyone that gets in the way of you taking care of yourself or of you being okay. So let's say you're tired at the end of your workday. You didn't tune in with yourself. You didn't go for a walk. You didn't look at a tree today. And now you're fried and you have to pick up kids or come home and do bedtime routine and all of that. And so, what if one of them had a bad day too? What if one of them had a meltdown? What if one of them can't wait for dinner and they're hungry, or they're really nasty to you? These are all areas where we go into collapse, or we boil over because we have not really taken care of our needs. Okay, and it's not their fault the tank is empty. It's something for us, it's a reflection. There's something there for us to do. Okay. We feel stuck and depressed about not being able to enjoy our lives. And this is where my clients reach out to me. I have a beautiful life. I've created this for myself. By anyone's standards, I'm living in beauty and in love, and our needs are met, and we love each other a lot, and I just cannot enjoy it. I cannot connect. I cannot relax with my kids. I cannot enjoy, unwind, and tap into what's going on in the present moment, because my head is just caught in loops. It's not here. So this happens for a lot of women too. You're mentally overloaded. You wake up, you have insomnia, you can't fall asleep, or you wake up in the night with a freight train through your head. You wake up tired and defeated. So all of those are happening internally. What's happening externally when you put your self-care on your to-do list, or forget to even put it on your calendar? Your children argue more. We see more conflict in the family when moms aren't taking care of themselves. It's probably obvious why. But you have a lot of anger, you have a lot of resentment, you have a lot of emptiness, you have a lot of sacrifice, self-denial going on, and your kids pick up on all of that, and they're angry about it. They want you to be healthy. They need you to be healthy, and they need you to be grounded so they can ground through you. And so we see kids arguing a lot more, arguing with each other and arguing back with parents. Really trying to wake you up and say, like, something's out of balance here. You need to wake up because we're all struggling. You'll feel a disconnect in your marriage, obviously. So either there's conflict, or there's sort of an isolation or feeling of loneliness that can come up too. I do see sometimes often like women have one area that feels like a bigger struggle. So either parenting or partnership. Or just kind of in the identity, the kind of floating and lost in your identity. So it could be any of those. And you're not as efficient as you can be. So often at work, people feel really like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing what I need to do. I used to be so dialed in, and now it's like, take a whole day, I get one thing done, because you have brain fog, or you're distracted, or your mind is in a loop. You can't focus. You cannot focus, which means you're not as productive and not as efficient in all areas. So in being the CEO of your family, in making decisions, in taking action, and there's more of just sort of like a holding pattern there, and life gets overwhelming really quickly when something falls out of line. You're boiling over a lot, and I said that one. So you're easily frustrated. You're snapping at your kids, holding grudges, all that kind of yucky stuff. Okay, have you been there? Does any of this ring true for you? Tell me if it does. And the question is, what do you notice happens for you when you have not really dialed into how to take care of yourself? And I would love for you to comment below. Tell me just like, what happens for you? Do you get angry? Do you get sad? Do you feel defeated? Maybe you feel you're really failing on all fronts. So what happens? Hi, Elizabeth. I just see your hand there. So tell me what happens for you when you're caught in that loop of, oh my gosh, I didn't put me first, and now I'm spinning, and now I'm out of gas, and when am I ever going to really figure this thing out? There's a little delay, so I can't see if you're commenting yet, but it'll pop on in a second. Notice how that thinking is getting in the way for you. And this is the point of having this talk today. So how's it getting in the way of you having what you want? What do you want if not this? What are the results that you're wanting to show up in your life, that you're wanting to create, that you're wanting to call in and manifest? Okay, great. Perspective gets so small and out of gratitude. That is such a beautiful comment. Thanks for sharing that, Sarah. and Elizabeth says feeling like a failure. These are patterns, and these are things that so many women are holding. And I just appreciate both of you for naming those, because so many of you I know are in your own little corners thinking it's just you, and that is absolutely not the case. I'm speaking out about this stuff because I want you all to know, like, we are one community of women with many differences, but there's a lot that's the same that's going on and flowing through us. And when we name it, it loses that kind of negative hold over us, and we can just decide what we want to do about it. So what do you want instead? The things I hear people say: I want my life to feel easier. I want to be in flow. I want to feel connected. So either through community or to my kids, or I want to laugh. I want to hear laughter in the house. I want to hear laughter in my house every day. I want to hear music and singing and laughter and silliness. I want things to be lighter. I want to know that I'm doing the best job I can do. And so when you start opening up to realizing that these are things that you want and you can have, and that the underlying foundation of all of this is taking care of you on a regular basis, that will help you to make a shift in prioritizing just that question of, what does it mean to take care of me today? What do I need today? Okay, so that was step one. Let's move into step two. Are we ready to move into step two? Oh, I had a nice little note here at the bottom of step one. I'll read to you guys. Shifting your thinking from self-care as a task or an item, this will be a little recap of one, on your to-do list, to self-care as a healthier relationship with you, between you and you. This is the whole thing. This is the most important relationship in your life, is between you and you. And so joy, yeah, creating joy, that's mine too. So really feeling in flow and being open to joy. That means all day in your regular life, not to schedule it in as like, I'm going to walk in the morning for 30 minutes and then I'm going to bounce out of that and into all these other tasks, into different parts of my brain and different parts of me. There is a beautiful connectedness when you dial into your relationship with yourself as the most important thing, that will then flow to every other area of your life. It will flow to your kids, to your marriage, to your career path, to your work, to your clients, all of that, on and on. So whether you're with your kids, whether you're at work, no matter what you're doing, whether you're washing dishes, whether you're cooking at the stove, whether you're out on a bike ride, whatever you're doing, these are all times when you can be nurturing yourself. It's not separate. It's not a separate item on the list. It's everything. It's underneath and inside of everything on your list comes you first. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. Tell me if it does. So getting to know your true self, getting to know what she needs, is the foundation of living free of anxiety. That is the foundation of being done with overwhelm in your life. It's the foundation of feeling confident and purposeful in everything you're doing. That's it. It's the core. Okay? Let's move on to step two. You can leave me your comments or questions. Okay. This is a good one. It is not self-care if you are more concerned about other people's feelings than your own. I love teaching this because it is an absolute and total game changer. All right, let's go into it. So I find that most mothers have a secret hidden belief that they don't even know about, as they're like about their job or their role as wife, as mom, as daughter to their aging mom, that it's not okay to take care of me if it's going to upset somebody else. Do you know that one? Is that one something that you have? Tell me if you're aware of it. Tell me if you are working on it, or just if you get a little hit on, yes, that feels true. This is so important because it creates a massive limitation on how much permission you could give yourself to be healthy, to be balanced, to be aligned, and to put your own needs and your family's needs first. Okay, so often, like for mom, like when mom takes care of mom, when you align with you, you're taking the best care of your family. And that's also a truth that gets lost. A lot of people don't realize that. And as soon as moms start working on moms and getting aligned with their truth and being able to let that flow out and just unblocking this area that keeps everything tight in your chest and in your throat, when your truth starts flowing, you start naming what you need and what needs to happen, and really leading the family with love, leading with presence, with authority. And I'm talking about loving authority. This is what's best for everybody. This is what's going to happen here. Just let's do it. That kind of authority, everyone gets healthy because it gives them permission to take care of themselves. There's no more limitation. There's no more, I'm only going to do that if you do this for me. That just falls away. Okay? Tell me if this is making sense to you. So I'm just going to say this again. So it isn't self-care if you're more concerned about other people's feelings than your own. All right? So what that means is if you are trying to think about what you need and how to take care of yourself, and you stop short when you realize that's going to create stress for my family. Hi, Amy. Thanks. Sending me love. You stop short when you realize, like, this is going to cause somebody to be unhappy. This is going to increase the stress level in my house. My husband's not going to like this. These are all things that I know you're thinking and that I know you're saying and that I talk with my clients about. And if you keep on going in this way, nothing will ever change. You will be the one who is like bearing the brunt of the burden. You will just keep bearing it. You'll keep dragging around your the heaviness. Okay, you have to be the one to decide that you want to change this and you want to free yourself from that dynamic and that old pattern, because the truth is what's on the other side of it is health for everybody, not just for you. So what I hear people say is like, if it's going to cause stress in the family, it's just not worth it. This is sort of the mental loop. I'll just suck it up and keep going and doing things the same way. Maybe I'll get an opening later in the day. Maybe I'll get my turn next month. Okay, does that work? We know that doesn't work. We know that that causes us incredible stress. We know that our bodies are holding tension from that. We know that our emotions are creating physical symptoms and manifestations from holding that instead of just living what we need now. It creates a double bind. This kind of thinking, it's a vicious cycle. So you want your people to be happy. You want them to be happy. I want my family to be happy. I'm sure you do too. I want to see them beaming. I want to see my girls just beaming light into the world. I want to see my husband just lit up and on fire and passionate about what he does and having so much fun and silliness with our kids. I want to see all of that. We want our people to be happy, and also you want to be happy. You want to be happy too, right? You don't just want them to be happy and you be miserable. You want everybody to be happy. And yet, to create the balance that you need out of the imbalance that exists now, you're going to make them unhappy, right? Just naming the truth. They're going to be annoyed, angry, upset, abandoned. You're going to see all kinds of yucky things when you go to balance yourself. Because it's inconvenient. They think they like it the other way. But if it's not working for you, it's really not working for them. Right? So think about that for a second. If you're always trying to keep them happy, and it's unconscious, most of us are not aware we're doing that. If we're always trying to keep them happy, then at our own expense. At our own expense, we're putting ourselves last. We're not taking care of us. We're not figuring out how to pay attention to our needs and tuning in every day. then because we're avoiding the discomfort of having to upset the balance, no matter how wacky the balance is, no matter how miserable you are in the balance, we don't want to create more discomfort, because who likes discomfort? We don't want to do that. And I'm telling you that things will not change unless you decide they're going to change, unless you choose to do something different, unless you make a decision. Okay, so if things get uncomfortable when you start taking better care of yourself, that's a reflection that in your everyday life you are going past your boundaries. Does that make sense? If you are denying your own needs, you are crossing your own personal boundary, or you don't have much of a personal boundary around what's okay with you and what's not okay with you. Hi, Rhonda. You know what I'm talking about. So think about, where is your personal boundary, and notice when you've just gone past it, when you are over giving, when you're giving past your comfort level, when you're moving into sacrifice, when you're moving into selflessness. These are treacherous waters that create big imbalance in the body and in your relationships. I think of all of this as a wake-up call. There's a fly in here. I think of all of this as a wake-up call to pay closer attention to ourselves and to start taking care of us in a new way. Okay, it's an invitation to all of that. So if this is coming up for you, just be grateful. Just welcome it in. Thank you so much that I'm seeing this about myself now. Wow, now I get to change it now that I can see it. I don't have to sit in discomfort and out of awareness. I get to really understand this now. So none of us, I'm not here, you're not here to live in sacrifice, to live in stay in pain, and to give up our emotional health and our physical health for the sake of our families. That's not healthy for them, and it's really not healthy for you. So you get to feel good, you get to feel purposeful, you get to feel healthy, you get to feel balanced, no matter how much is on your plate right now. No matter how many people expect things from you, no matter how high level your job is, no matter how much time you're spending with your kids right now, you get to feel balanced, you get to feel joyful. You get to be connected to you and taking care of you. There is no but I'm so busy I can't do it. That's an illusion, okay? That's just an absolute illusion. And it's also an excuse to not take care of yourself. So I just want to be sure to be really clear about that. You get to choose how you want to feel. You get to choose how this whole thing goes for you in motherhood. It really all begins with your decision. So I've had clients who are physically ill from avoiding the fact that they're not okay with the imbalance or the distribution of work in their home. Physical illness, very loud body talk, a lot of symptoms, a lot of body communications, and dis-ease in the body. I've had clients who are on medication for depression for years, even though they hate it. It makes them feel like crap, because their lives have become one big reflection of very old belief. They haven't moved, they haven't shifted yet, that says they're never going to be enough. It's never going to be enough. They can never give enough. They can never be enough. That creates a ton of dis-ease, a ton of depression, a ton of anxiety. I've had clients who were silently planning their divorce. The partner had no clue. They're on the phone with the divorce lawyer. They're running numbers to see if they can afford separating and living in two households, and feeling really, really trapped. Really trapped. All because of that sneaky hidden belief that says, feels like law, feels like truth, because it's been running for so long. I can't do what I need to do for me, because if I did, XYZ will happen. If I really start prioritizing me, and we have all kinds of fears about this. If you're brave enough, drop it in the comments. I would love to see it. I would love for others to see it too. Those of you who are feeling courageous, let's just name it and get it out there. I'll do one. If I really put myself first, and if I really take care of me, I can't do that because if I did, I know what would happen. I'm trying to think of a juicy one, an old one. I used to have these a lot. Now it takes me a minute. I'm not in this. This is not in my mind these days. But just an easy, obvious one. My partner will be so much harder to deal with. He will be so irritable, so cranky. I'll get a lot of flack for this. If I put me first, if I say to him, what I know I need, I tuned in. What I know I need is yoga every Monday night, and I need you to do drop-offs every day, and I need also this chunk of time, and I'm happy to give you yours. The initial response is going to be, I don't like change. I don't want to move things around, so I'm going to get resistance. I'm going to get blame. I'm going to get whatever. I'm going to get his discomfort all over me. Then I have to feel his energy, and all of that is so yucky to hold. But I don't have to hold it. It's not mine. It doesn't belong to me. So think about what you're avoiding that is getting in the way of you really putting you first. If you know what it is, drop it in the comments. I want to know. The truth is, this is step number 2. You cannot give to anybody else. You can't give to your kids. You can't give to your clients or whoever you serve, or into your partnership what you don't know how to give yourself already. Okay. Yeah, right. If I put me first, it will be hard for the kids. Okay. So there's an interesting thought. Maybe it's a belief. Maybe it came from your mom or your grandma, and on and on. And because we carry these and we hold these, we let them shape and structure our lives. And somehow it all turns out to mean that we're neglecting ourselves. We're coming at the end. So it's good to really think about it and really shift your beliefs around this. So if what you want is to create a life where you are flowing in love, where you are experiencing joy with your families, then you have to first learn to give yourself that. You have to first learn to give yourself the love. Okay? Then you can create it outside of you. All right. How are we doing? Oh, my goodness. Okay, I got to wrap it up because I have a program call coming up shortly. Let me go over step 3. Step 3 is many think of self-care as a form of escape. So do you ever catch yourself thinking this way? So it's a form of escape. It's taking a break from my normal life, because what does that say? Like, I'm not enjoying my normal life enough to feel balanced inside of it. It's just feeling like too much, so I need to get out of there and go relax, because I don't know how to relax in it. I don't know how to tune into myself in the life, so I have to leave the life to do it. Taking a break from family to wind down and relax and escape is so fun. I mean, who doesn't love to go away for a day with a girlfriend, or to have dinner with a group of ladies, or even better, head out of town on your own while someone else takes care of the home front? It's beautiful to have a break from all that. I'm completely on board with that for myself and for everyone else. However, if you're doing it as a way of escaping your normal life, ask yourself why. Because you are unable to wind down enough to relax and enjoy and take care of you inside of your life, then it's a problem. So what I know to be true is that it provides temporary relief when we do it this way. Provides a little bit of relief, like a little band-aid. That's not a solution. It's not a solution. It doesn't last. And, you may fill your tank a little, but the minute you arrive back into that environment that causes so much stress, you feel the same way you've always felt before, the escape. So, and another piece of the truth is, and I've heard people say, is like, it's sort of relaxing, but also not that relaxing, because your nervous system doesn't really know how to wind down. Your nervous system doesn't really know how to slow down, how to open, how to relax. Your mind doesn't know how to get still and really receive the deliciousness of your escape anyway. So often what comes up is guilt. I should be at home, or oh my God, I forgot, or you're managing from your phone from far away. So you're not really present there, as you are not really present at home. Just going to get the same thing, but in a different setting. So you're not really able to enjoy your experience, whatever your experience is. And somewhere in that, you are meant to be creating peace, but you can't. You can't, because you're working on the same old wiring, the same kind of old system. You're not going to feel fully satisfied until you have found that state in your normal life. That state of being tuned into you, taking care of you, really relaxing into your life, into and knowing how to move through the discomfort to the other side, knowing how to shift the stuck limiting beliefs and all of that stuff. Until you move through that, you're not going to be able to really find that kind of joy and peace and restfulness and fun that you're wanting inside of your normal life or outside of it. So instead of trying to escape and take care of you with temporary relief, really just try to notice what's in your life now. Like, tap into the richness of what is right now, everything that's around you. So tuning into, practicing listening more deeply to your body, listening to your intuition, your guidance, and really feeling what's here for you, beginning with honoring the pain, the tension, the anxiety, beginning with honoring the stuck places instead of trying to get rid of them. Instead of trying to get rid of them and chuck them to the side or pretend they're not there, this is where everything you need is. Everything you need in order to really find out what it means for you to take good care of yourself is through all of the resistance and the limitation, if that makes sense. Is this making sense to you? You can let me know. Drop me any questions you have about this. I know I'm going deep today because we are deep. We are deep, and we need to know what is blocking us from really loving ourselves and what happens when we're able to love ourselves. There's a lot of really, really great stuff that I got to plug my phone in that is here for us. Okay, that we're missing if we're not tuning into ourselves and giving ourselves what we need. Okay, quick recap of the 3 steps. 1 is instead of treating self-care like an item on your to-do list, something you need to get to but probably never will, really think about it as your relationship with you, shaping your relationship with you, seeing what's there. Just taking an honest inventory of what is there and how you're treating yourself. Okay. Step 2. If you're putting other people's feelings above your own, if you're more worried about keeping a balance in your house than you are about listening and seeing what you need and taking action on that, then you're kind of walking on eggshells or avoiding the landmines. You will continue to run yourself further into the ground. You will not be accessing that kind of expansiveness that is you, that is here for you. All right? You can't give to anybody else what you haven't learned yet how to give to yourself. That is the nugget of wisdom in step 2. Step 3, many of us think of self-care as a form of escape from our normal lives. If you are needing to escape, then that is a call to action. That is a little heads up that there is something in you, some needs that are not being met, and for you to get to the bottom of, for you to be with, for you to honor, and for you to take a respectful look at, because there's something in you that is not being really held, nurtured in the way it needs to be. If that's making sense, ask me your questions because we're about to have to wrap up. So drop your comments so I can see them before we wrap up. Let me know what you thought today about those 3 steps, if there's one in particular that you struggle with, or one that really resonated for you today. Give me a little feedback on what that was. And also, if you're hearing this and you're thinking, yes, I know I need to do this, but I don't know how, but I'm ready for the change. I want to take the step. Decisiveness is such a key piece here, because once you decide to change it, then the resources will come to you. then because you'll be opening to it. You'll be setting your intention for it. So if you're hearing this and you're thinking, yes, and I want to know how, I want to know how to put it all together, then feel free to reach out to me. You can book a call with me. It'll be like a free half hour where I'll create a space for you to tune into you, and I'll guide you in doing that. I'll guide you in seeing what it is that you can't get your finger on, and what it is that you are wanting to have that you don't have now. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to help you get tons of clarity on it. And sometimes out of those conversations, we find out it makes a ton of sense for us to work together. And if that is the case, I will let you know. And if not, then I've just given you a load of time, flowing so much divine love to you, and you get to keep that for yourself. So yeah, I'm seeing a comment. Great. Okay, thanks, Sarah. Deep presence to tap into all the expansiveness that is here. Yes, that's here for all of you. It's here for all of you. Yeah, so if you want to know how other women are doing it, how my program clients are doing it, how they are going from square one or just a negative space on knowing how to take care of themselves to tending to their needs in flow and reorganizing their lives around being stable, being confident, living on purpose, and being really, really, really loving with their kids. So really getting to enjoy their kids at a new level, and creating healthy, alive partnerships where they feel supported and seen and loved. Oh my gosh, I could go on all day, but I'm going to stop there. Then I'm happy to share that with you too. So if that's what you want, then let's explore working together. So much love and blessings to all of you today, and way to show up and be here. And yeah, it is. Thanks, Rhonda. Change is so possible. It is so possible. So lots of love to all of you. Blessings. And when you watch back, let me know what clicked for you, what resonated for you. When we show up to say it, when we participate and engage, that's going to come back to us tenfold. So do that for yourself. All right. Have a beautiful day. Have a blessed day.